That's a solid intro there.
That's impressive.
Who cares? We don't even need the music like we had before. We got Tristan just to beatbox it out.
Give me an album, bitch.
That is impressive shit.
I'm just
now you're just a logo.
Podcast logo now.
You know what? That's it.
You don't get to be on the show. It's just your anthropomorphic glass of whiskey.
It all comes full circle. Even Rick said, anybody can be a musician. Thanks, Tristan.
Now I'm in control. Now I can show you whatever I want on my screen.
It's just
you can't stop me. Welcome to the last call pornography hour.
But usually it takes us a couple minutes to get off the rails. Damn.
Sometimes it happens fast.
It's organic.
Hey, there he is.
I'm alive.
Well, hey everybody. Welcome back to another Last Call podcast. My name is Mikey T. Of course, I'm joined through the power of the internet by Tristan in the great state of Ohio.
Hello.
Here in the studio, we have, I say studio very lightly, we have Steve Miller of Ellicott City fame. So thank you very much for coming back on the show, Steve.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Welcome, Steve.
Howdy, howdy.
So just in case anyone was wondering, we did not plan this this outfit matchiness.
Yeah. We're kind of like the two girls that show up at the prom wearing the same dress.
Yeah, if one of those girls also had a closet full of clothes upstairs at the prom into which she could have changed into any of them immediately upon seeing the other girl. It's just like that.
Oh, fuck you. I said I would go change.
Damn,
I just sat here and poured shots like I was making them for me and Christina. Because I poured one normal and one half. Because it's like, that's just...
Yeah, I do the same thing. His and hers shots.
His and hers shots.
Like, my bad, Steve. I didn't mean to wife you up just that quickly.
Damn, I don't know what to think, Mikey.
But there you go.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, sir. Tristan, you got yours ready?
I do.
What do you got? Did you get the Great Value Fireball?
No, it's still upstairs in the liquor cabinet. I'm sorry. I fucked up again. God
damn it. I got to see that sometime.
Just regular Fireball this time.
Cheers to everybody out there.
Yep. Cheers.
Let's do this. Last call.
Oh, it tastes so good when it hits your lips.
So, part of the reason that I wanted to get Steve on here is that for anybody that doesn't know, they've announced some plans for Ellicott City to quote unquote fix the flooding issues.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of contention over the topic. Do you want to give, like, you know the plan the best out of the three of us, obviously. Well, do you want to give like the quick synopsis of what the plan is?
The quick version is that no matter what they do upstream, it's always going to put a lot of water down the middle of Main Street. So the counties come forward with, was it between $40 and $50 million to do all these water retention projects, buying up individual properties on the west end and the bottom of Main Street and leveling them and using them for floodplains. And that's got a lot of people pretty pissed off, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm not sure everybody knows, but so Ellicott City, historic Ellicott City, is basically built in like a ravine.
Yeah,
with a river literally running under the city,
and 5 other streams that feed into that.
Right. So there have been floods in the past because of the river itself, but the problem more recently with the 2016 and the 2018 floods was actually the water coming down from other areas. So it's basically the overdevelopment of the surrounding areas, because it just turns Ellicott City into a funnel. So
that's one of the theories. And there's a major issue with development in the watershed. There's no question about that. The problem is that a lot of the development that doesn't have stormwater management was put in, like, that's such a wonderful sound. Was put in over 30, 40 years ago. So a lot of the old legacy neighborhoods in the watershed and adjacent to it, the idea at the time was to draw water away from a building and get it to a stream as fast as you could. And now, as technology and science has evolved, We don't quite do that anymore. We try to hold it back. We try to filter it for quality. We do all sorts of stuff. And so everything that's been built, like the house that I grew up in, which at this point is pushing almost 50 years old.
Just like Steve.
Just like me. They're causing a bigger problem. And now they got to go in and retrofit. They're buying up properties in some of these older neighborhoods, like in Valley Mead off of Route 40. And they're trying to fix it. But what everybody's focusing on and what all the Facebook activism has kind of kicked into overdrive, and I mean, really weapons grade crazy, is they're going to take all the buildings down from Kaplan's to the Phoenix.
So basically one side of Main Street,
right?
About what, like
10 buildings.
Yeah. So like a third of one side of the street, maybe, right?
Yeah. The county's number says 5% of all structures in the historic district total. That's including houses over on the west end of town in the residential area. But everybody's focused on those 10 buildings because there's a lot of pull to it. You know, somebody's house on the west end only has pull to it for the people that live there or have lived there over time. We've got thousands, tens of thousands of people have come through the door at Portales or Shoemaker Country or the Phoenix or Bean Hollow, Discoveries, Tea on the Tiber, and so on. So people have really kind of come out of the woodwork from across the world at this point, pissed off that these buildings are going to go. I'm one of them. You know, I'm pissed off that they're going to go because I moved to town when I was 4 years old from Catonsville, and I grew up in there. I've worked over the past 20 plus years. I've worked at a bunch of different restaurants there, and I've gotten really good friends over the years that are practically like family. So I'm pissed off about it too, but it's like, I also look at the pragmatic side and it's like, this is just going to keep happening. And so we got to do something big at this point.
And I think that's where, so Tristan, you probably haven't seen all this, but basically there's a whole bunch of Facebook groups have popped up, you know, save Ellicott City, like all this. And while their intentions are good, it's basically like any other political thing. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of people yelling into their echo chamber.
Yeah, really.
And they're not listening to any other side. And the thing that I thought was so, I mean, weapons grade crazy, was that they're basically putting hit pieces out on people that are against or supporting the plan.
Right.
You know, nobody wants all the buildings to disappear.
Right.
But always a classy move.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people realize that something has to be done. It's the most realistic thing that can be done. It just really sucks for especially spots like Phoenix.
Yeah. Where
Phoenix has been there for forever.
40 years.
Yeah. And they just reopened. They just finished reopening. So those are the ones that really hit you and pull on the heartstrings. But it's either that or a couple more years you doing it again. I
mean, the reality is, and
to be clear, we're affected by it. Like,
yeah,
Steve and I both bartend at Portales, and Portales is one of the buildings that's affected.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a vested interest in it.
We could realistically, you know, if things were right, we could be open in another 30 to 40 days, give or take, because that's what it would take to build out the first floor. Because fortunately, and this is I think the biggest kick between the legs is all the money that was spent to reinforce and rebuild the building the last time actually did exactly what it was supposed to do. So it's not like it was shifted on its foundation. I mean, the damn thing should have come down on us in 2016 when we were in there, and the county came in and told us to get the hell out of the building. And one of Evan's friends went to the store, got a shitload of 2x6s, and I helped him reframe the wall to keep the building from coming down on us. But I mean, it was like that sort of level of destruction we didn't see this time. Other buildings definitely did. But what's crazy is we could reopen. We could totally reopen, but at what cost? I mean, we've had friends of ours, and I don't want to name their names, but they've got severe nightmares and PTSD about this from being in the building during both floods. One friend would have drowned in the basement. You know, I mean, it's like, how do you limit the danger for people's lives and for their safety? based on hanging onto an old building that you've got a lot of memories in. I mean, I would take down the whole damn town if it meant that one of my friends or my family was not potentially going to die in a freak flood that can't be predicted.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the questions I had, I'd seen some of this, but in some of the discussions I've seen, the one thing I haven't seen is an alternative, credible plan that is developed by somebody who fucking knows a goddamn thing about anything. I assume there's something out there. I saw the statement from, who is it, the Ellicott City Preservation Society, who said that
Preservation Maryland was one of the big ones.
And they said they didn't like this plan and they were going to go get another plan, but they didn't have an alternate plan. And that's what I haven't seen. Is there any other, even if it's, for $200 million, we'll build a future flood system under the streets and it'll be the coolest thing ever. I haven't seen any of that.
There are a number of plans that are out there. And one of the functions that I do, I sit in a couple different committees that have been addressing different aspects of this from a design standpoint. Not this specific demolition plan, but I with the Ellicott City Partnership, I work on their design committee, and I'm working with the county and helping them revise their historic building guidelines because they need to be updated. But anyway, there's a couple different plans that are out there. There's one that was put together by a couple developers that was released like a month. I'll take an itty bitty one.
All right.
Thanks.
You get the wifey shot.
Yeah, get the wifey shot. So anyway, that was released, and that would really kind of benefit them. The county has released over the past few years multiple studies on what they could do and how they could fix it. But at the end of the day, the problem is the town was built straddling a river that's fed by 5 other rivers that feeds into a bigger river. So it's like this. Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect shitstorm. You know?
Like I get it. It's a nightmare scenario. I guess what I was asking is, like, I know everybody's riled up about this plan and it sucks. A lot of aspects of it sucks. Is there a real other way to do this? Will more money get it done without tearing these down? Is there a smart, short of, more bulldozing bulldozing all the shops at the top of the hill, which isn't going to fucking happen, which is I think what everybody actually wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the two things I've seen is, one, everybody arguing that should happen. Mm-hmm. They're like,
I don't even think those people realize they live in the houses and in the developments that are causing these problems.
Yeah. You know? Well, they're complaining about all the development and everything and saying that's a problem. And it is. I think it is 90% of the problem. The problem with that is that you can't just do that. It's already been done. Yeah. It was done lawfully, not ethically.
Bring in the bulldozers, boys. Coles has got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was done lawfully.
Damn it! I got to bulldoze my tennis court now.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
So those are all pipe dreams. I mean, that might be a poor use.
Yeah, it really is a poor use. God, you're a sensitive prick.
But
we've just been flooded with bad ideas the whole time.
All right, that might have been too far.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
just torrents of idiocy. Yeah, just nonstop.
It's crazy.
Fucking dumbasses falling from the sky.
Weapons grade crazy. And I have this problem where sometimes I get stuck like arguing when I see something it's blatantly obviously fake, which a lot of this shit that's going around is, and I mean, to the point, like accusations. One nutbag called the county executive, and I quote, the murderer of Main Street.
Jesus,
you've got to be shitting me. I mean, come on, this is a little bit extreme, you know. I feel sorry for the guys running the show because they inherited this problem and they're decent guys. I mean, they helped us shovel shit down there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I guarantee you more of those asshole politicians were down there helping than any of these fucking crazies.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm going to go devil's advocate.
Sure.
Okay. 2016 happens. It's a nightmare. It is preventable is the wrong word, but there was definitely research out there that said, hey, this is a problem that's coming. And then 2016 happened and it was the worst case scenario. And what everybody said was, this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
Well, first they said it was a once in 1,000-year storm.
Yeah, they called it a 1,000-year storm, and everybody thought that apparently, everyone thought that, yeah, once in 1,000 years. And they're saying, no, there's 1/1000th of a chance it could happen every year. Like, wait, what? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
That's some funny backing up.
So apparently they've been saying that, you know, they knew that it could happen again. There's a good there's a percentage. I mean, there's a chance, you know. But the fucked up part is that they've been trying to get a lot of this stuff done, Tristan, and they've run into roadblocks. They ran into roadblocks in Annapolis, state capital,
Sure.
trying to get funding for projects. And the fucked up part is, okay, you've got a Republican county executive and a Democrat county councilman that represents that area, and everybody keeps holding them up as being the shining example of bipartisan support. I mean, like, they were on, you know, some other person's radio show this morning, and, you know, they're all talking about, you know, like, this is how government should work. These guys are working together hand in hand. Meanwhile, they run into Annapolis and they're like, fuck it, we're going to play the old same bullshit. And so we lost out on projects. But the other thing is, this shit takes time. Like, even what they're saying now is a 5-year plan, and that's ambitious. I think it's ambitious. You know?
I mean, the government, I mean, how long have we been working on 695?
Oh, well, 60 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it takes a long time for anything to get done, and that's a big project.
I call it moving at the speed of government.
Yeah.
You know?
Oof. That sounds miserable.
Oh God, I'd blow my brains out.
But
speaking of blowing my brains out, let's kill some brain cells.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
To
you, Tristan.
Yeah. Next
Ellicott
time.
City.
Whatever. Yeah, dedicate that shot of Jameson to Eddie that passed in the flood.
Absolutely.
Good guy.
Yeah. And so that's the other thing. It's like I said, I'm passionate about this because I grew up there. I've lived there. I've worked there and so on. And the fucked up thing is all these people going nuts all over Facebook and social media. It's like, just because you have an opinion, and I should probably take my own advice, doesn't mean you should tell people, you know. It's like, but you can also spot the loons, and then they're going after business owners on Main Street that are affected by this too. Like, one guy thought that one of the owners of Elke Brewing Company was because he was out there battling the horse shit that was flying around, said, well, you just want your competition down the street to go out of business.
I saw that.
And
comment. It's
like, that's when I jumped in and I'm like, well, okay, wait one fucking minute. This is horse shit. And it's just, it's starting to clean up a little bit, but you still get that one, you know, tactical crazy warhead that goes off, you know, from time to time.
It's tough to wade through that, especially when people, even though Facebook isn't anonymous per se, everybody gets those internet muscles.
Yeah.
Even it's not quite the same as like a Reddit thread or YouTube comment section, but Facebook, I mean,
yeah.
Even though you got your name attached to it, everybody is just going ape shit.
Yeah. Like,
and
bug fucking nuts.
And I like the one lady that said, well, you see, Steve works in real estate.
Yeah.
And it's like, so
I
mean, you're like, so I'm the enemy. She's like, I didn't say you're the enemy. It's like, well, yeah, you fucking did.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's
okay. Yeah,
that's
yes, I sell houses for a living, you know?
That's exactly what you're implying.
Yeah.
Like, we'll try to backpedal now.
Because real estate agents are tied to construction, and construction is tied to developers. And oh my God! You know, it's like Jesus fucking Christ, you idiots. And you know what the best part is?
She's got a valid point. What do you have to gain here, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You government shill.
Yeah.
How dare you use my platform for your nefarious plot to profit from the Ellicott City flood? How dare you, sir?
I am waving my fist at you in disdain.
Now it all becomes clear.
Yeah, yeah.
So I forgot to mention it. Did you hear what the other proposed method of solving the problem was? Basically drilling underneath the town.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever tried to dig anywhere in the like Catonsville area.
Yeah.
Even my backyard. I mean, it's like you can't go 2 feet without hitting fucking rock.
Is that like a real plan, or is that just like a Facebook plan?
It was actually something that was floated.
Because I feel like that.
Yeah.
Floated.
Oh God.
Christ.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So they actually did in 2016, this flood just kind of came out of nowhere, obviously, and there's a lot of people that live on the west end of town that were like really, I don't want to say activists because I think it's got a bad connotation, especially what we were just talking about. But they've been really proactive in their community, sitting in these flood work groups. And the county's studies came back and they looked at every possible option. And one of them was to drill not one, but 2 giant bores through the hills and bypass the downtown area.
You know what? Every time I hear that, all I can think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fucking Technodrome throwing out those little like what the hell are they called?
Yeah, the little fucking drilling things. What the fuck were they?
But that's all I can think of.
Yeah, right.
It looks like a train car with a drill bit.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
front.
yeah. Or what was that movie Labyrinth? Remember that? You ever see it? Anyway, it's fucking David Bowie, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the Goblin King.
Yeah, the Goblin King. So anyway, they wanted to do one. It was proposed to go from, if you know Ellicott City, above town off a New Cut branch and go pretty much underneath St. Paul's Church and Mulligan Hill, and then drop out on the other side of the B&O Railroad Museum, like in between that and Ghost Town area. But then they wanted to do another one that would have gone somewhere off on the western end of town. It's been a while since I've seen it because they were kind of improbable, you know.
Yeah.
But it would have gone from right around the area where Elke Mills Drive is, or was, I guess, where it used to cross over to Main Street, and then go through and then actually dump out way upstream in the next watershed over, but directly into the Patapsco. And the total cost of just the holes themselves, they estimated to be the same as doing all the water retention and mitigation projects at that point. So it was over $80 million just to drill the holes, and they still had to fix all the problems on the west end of town, which was like another $30 million or whatever it may have been. So they're looking at it saying, okay, the holes are going to cost us 80 million plus another 30 million. So now we're at 110, and those sort of projects take years and there's cost overruns. It's going to be, $500 million by the time this thing is done.
Yeah. So it's a little over budget.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, it's the government. They can get away with it.
But that seems to be the one that the group of crazy seems to be sharing the most. Is,
Could probably
just
Elon
drill
Musk.
under the town.
Yeah,
Elon Musk and his boring company, bring him in.
But what they don't understand is that part of what the county did in the 2016 study was they brought in geologists and all these different experts in their fields, not just people that look at water flowing and stormwater management, because they wanted to look at every viable option. Like Army Corps of Engineers suggested jacking up the town or moving buildings and all these different things. And the big problem, and they wanted to dredge the Tiber, because what you got to remember is from Old Columbia Pike to the Patapsco River, the Tiber is literally running either behind or underneath of all the buildings.
That was actually my biggest question, was why they didn't do that, because that seems like it certainly wouldn't like mitigate all the problems,
right?
But for example, from the 2016 flood, the part of the river that you can see from Portales was probably 2 feet higher. The bed of the river was 2 feet higher than it started. So I mean, you should at least.
And that was after they dredged it.
Yeah, so you should at least, dig it back out. That's a lot more feasible. Like, just dig out all that crap.
Yeah.
Truck it off somewhere else. That at least gives some mitigation, like water can go somewhere else. Like,
so they did do some dredging, but it's kind of hard to get a piece of equipment underneath those buildings.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the big problems that they had. But the other big problem is that, and it's like a perfect storm situation, because as the Tiber
there you go again.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it really is. But sorry for the puns.
Let's see how many horrible references we can inadvertently make.
Shit! You don't want to challenge me to that.
Challenge accepted.
No.
Like, how many people can we offend today?
All of them.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Yeah. So they've looked at all these different options, and like you said, like jacking the buildings and doing all these things. But the problem is, yes, you could jack up the building, but let's say that the first floor Portales, okay, that you could abandon the first floor and you could put in some sort of structure that allows water to pass through. And you could put the kitchen upstairs and that would be okay, except for one problem. You can do it with that one, but you can't do it with all of them, because some of the buildings like Kaplan's are all just really one usable floor. Their second floor is like a little tiny attic practically. So there's no one size
that's
fits
most
all.
of Ellicott City.
Yeah, and they're all random buildings. There's 45 different distinct architectural styles in the district. So yes, as I'm sitting here drinking and having a good time, I can still pull these facts out of my ass. But you've got everything from
No one's fact checking you.
Nobody's-
You can say whatever the fuck you want on here.
God.
If
I
they
don't wanna-
if they dug out the river, how
Yeah.
would Steve make his slush fund real estate money off
Exactly.
of the bulldozing deal?
All 40 of you that are actually going to watch this, stop it.
I know
Turn
where
it
his
off right
vote
now.
went.
No, but great. We just got 3 more viewers. No, I mean there's a lot of different question marks, but the problem that they come back to is that even if they can slow all the flow of water that's coming down through the west of town, right? They put all this money in these retention ponds and opening up streams and widening them and all this shit. Problem is they're still going to get an 8-foot wall of water at the end of it, because in 11 in Tropical Storm Lee, we got the equivalent of what we got in these past 2 storms per hour, but it was a very short duration. It happened and it was done. That mostly affected the West End, and it got the county's attention, and they started putting money into these flood studies, which was really good. And that was grassroots, community-based stuff. A lot of friends of mine were really heavily involved with it at that point. I wasn't.
Other government shills in the real estate.
Yeah, all the
business.
government shills and the real estate and the artists and the government workers, and yeah, I mean, all those folks. But they started to look at these things. They got the county to put some money into it. They cleaned out the streams. We would do stream cleans. Like, I've walked every single inch of that river from West End Service all the way down to Patapsco. I've been down in the tunnels. I've seen it. There's choke points in there. There's old, 50, 60, 80-year-old infrastructure in there that's being used still. Like right in between Lapa Lapas and Ellicott Mills, there's a pinch point in the tunnel, and that's where the majority of the water that runs down the Main Street surface comes from, because it makes 2 90-degree turns there, and it just backs up and shoots right out. So it's like, this shit's got to get addressed. And it's mostly because public works projects, have been saying this for a long time, they're not sexy. They don't get anybody's attention. So it's not like education or police and fire and so on. But these things have got to be maintained. And so now this county in 2018 is paying for the problems of the county in 1965 and 1975 and 85.
But it's clearly Kittleman,
It's
the
clearly
murderer.
Kittleman, the murderer of Main Street, and that jerk John Weinstein's fault. Yeah, I mean, it's totally their fault. It's not the people that preceded them.
Steve, I was just doing some research on this issue, and I came across a quote, looks like from one of the planning meetings that you attended last year. Do you want to explain this quote to us and the context for it?
Put that up again.
Is it still up?
So what I meant by bulldoze was
Bulldoze that shit. Papa needs
Look,
to make
man,
a commission
look,
this year.
look, I ain't gonna make
found
no
this on
claims.
Facebook, I think it's I'm gonna say it's legitimate.
if it's on the
tags
internet,
our
it's real.
episode.
If it's on the internet, it's real. I mean, that's just how this shit works. I mean,
Wow.
look, man, I got to step it up to an AMG next year. I'm just saying, with your help,
It's on the internet
with
now.
your help.
We have opened a dangerous can of worms by showing Tristan the screen
Oh
share
my God, yeah.
function.
It's at some point or another, there's going to be something really, really awkward that's going to come up there in 3, 2.
It's just him
What?
sitting there.
It's just me. It's still just me. I mean,
Oh man, you were right.
Jesus, that's awkward as shit.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Sorry to bring it on a downer, but
it's as I mean we can branch off a little bit, because the last time we discussed the flood seriously was back in 2016 with the or I guess it was probably 2017 by then, because
hang on a second.
so we had Evan and that piece of shit Toro on,
Oh, that fat fuck.
and we
Hey, that's a lot of weight on this couch, man.
that
I'm surprised this fucker is still standing.
yeah it is seen a lot.
I mean, that's
that
tons
couch.
of-
That couch has given us a lot.
Yeah, I know. The last time I was here, I burned my clothes afterwards for fear that I might have taken home a contagious disease. Fortunately, Mikey's never going to get mistaken for wearing this shirt with me again, Tristan, because it's going to be burned after this show.
That's probably not the worst idea you've had.
Yeah. Bitch
But-
wore the same shirt as me.
What did Toro do? First of all, did you ever find out is Toro actually mad at Dixon? Because that would make me happy if they were like actual enemies now.
They are always simultaneously mad at each other and not. So
okay.
It's standard fare.
And it is entertaining. There's no question about that.
So it's like one of those. It's like one of those movies where the attractive female executive and the rugged around the edges maintenance guy are always at each other's throats until they make out right at the very end.
All right. So which one is Toro and which one is Dixon?
I'll leave that to your imagination.
Oh God.
Ugh. I think I need a palate cleanser from that more than the disgusting.
Yeah.
They would make the raddest couple. Like, I'm just saying, like, if they were like actually together and you had to describe them as a couple, that would be awesome.
I would like to see Toro and Dixon in a buddy cop movie.
Oh my God.
It would be like Central Intelligence, or what was it? Is that what it was? The Rock and Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
But it would just be The Rock from the
Chan and Chris Tucker movies.
No, but see, it would be Central Intelligence because it would be the Rock, but it would be from earlier in the movie where he's just like a fat piece of shit.
Yeah. So
and then Kevin Hart would be like 200 pounds heavier.
Speaking of Toro, okay. So we all love Toro, right? Sure. I mean, sure. So fuck you, Toro. Fuck you.
I like him a lot, for the record.
Well, you know what? Fuck you too, Tristan.
That's fair. Firm but fair.
Hashtag.
Ohio has made you soft.
Yeah. A fucking mistake by the lake over there. So I'm on my way over here tonight, and if past performance is any indication of future success, I left here the last time. I might have been a little bit buzzed. So I stopped by Taco Bell.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah, it's been known to happen. A time has been known to happen.
I wonder what percentage of our guests have gone to Taco Bell after being on our show. It is significant.
Well, no,
or anything.
Before I went on my way here.
Oh, okay.
I needed a baseline, you know, like I had to have a little something in the tank before I started pouring beer and Jameson over it. So I got 3 soft tacos because I'm thinking that's going to be the easiest thing to eat while I'm driving, right? And
safety first, kids.
Safety third. Absolutely. So I get 3 soft taco Supremes, and I'm like, okay. I'm driving down Route 40, and I'm trying to eat a fucking soft taco without spilling it all over myself. And I get to a light, and I inhale the fucking taco, take a swig of my iced tea, and I'm like, okay. The first thing that comes to mind is, how the fuck does Toro do it? Like, eat tacos while he's driving.
You have to keep in mind that Toro is always eating tacos.
This is true.
So it's like, how does somebody that's disabled, cope with, missing a limb or anything like that? Once you've had to live your life constantly consuming tacos, it just you get used to it. You adapt.
So
I kind of always assumed it was like one of those cartoon maneuvers where he had like 10 tacos and he would start juggling them in a perfect circle and then eventually just hinge open his mouth upwards and they would just go, 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 go. That's how I assumed he ate tacos.
That makes perfect sense, but you've never seen him DJ. Fucker, his hands are all over the damn place.
Right.
Fucking Toro. I imagine, Mikey, he's got one of those things like, okay, Tristan, tell me if you've seen this in like your Facebook wall. Like, the little videos of shit that they suggest you to buy, and you go, oh, yeah, I'm going to click on the link, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah, okay. They get me with that constantly.
Toro has the equivalent of, like, that little shaving mirror apron thing. Have you seen this thing?
Oh, right? Yeah, where you stick it to the mirror, and it, like, catches your beard hairs? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because as the only one in the room or on the podcast right now with a beard, I got to trim it every once in a while, and I'd rather pay a barber, right, to go do it than do it at home, because invariably I'm always going to miss one hair, and then I'll get bitched at.
Yeah, and then your life's over.
Oh shit, my life is miserable for the next 48 to 72 hours because of one fucking hair on a bar. So anyway, Toro has something, right? Toro has something like that for tacos, and it like hooks onto the windshield or onto the steering wheel, so he can be like driving down the road, listening to Despacito and like eating a fucking taco, and all the lettuce and the cheese and shit is hitting his little fucking shaving apron taco catcher thing.
But I imagine that
I lost it at some point. Were you kidding?
No, this actually went through my head.
I like to imagine that instead of it, you know how the beard
I was trying
apron.
to think of
I was concerned for a moment. I'm trying to imagine. I'm fearing for Toro's safety. I'm like, you can't have a fucking taco apron in your truck, sir.
I bet you Toro has one. I fucking bet you he has one.
I
If he
imagine
doesn't, I'm going
that
to find him one.
unlike the beard apron, the taco apron actually connects like at the mouth. So if he just pins it up high enough, let's say it's got like a window in it, like a mesh window. So he puts it up at the top of the windshield. So anything that falls just immediately slides right back into his mouth.
Like just
Fabric
right back
taco
into the
luge. Just like,
Yeah.
you just pick it up into the air and it funnels in.
That's it, Tristan. We're going to copyright this shit. Don't any 40 of you listening steal this shit. We're copyrighting tacoluge.com.
Oh man, can we change our website to that?
Tacoluge.com.
Toro's tacoluge.com.
Tacoluge.com. Yeah, these are the things that go through my head.
I saw a discussion once about like so like similar to like the beard apron that you apply to the window. The discussion was like how when you're like trimming your pubes, how do you like deal with all the hair that comes loose when you do that? And the number one suggestion was a guy that suggested that you get like a plastic grocery bag that you get from the store that has the handles in it. And then you step your legs through the handles and like pull them up to your waist.
What?
And then you just shave your pubes and your pubes fall into the bag. And then you just remove the bags and throw them into the trash.
That's hilarious or genius.
I think there are some logistical challenges there, but the logic is sound.
But it you're right. It's funny and brilliant at the same time.
But I'm thinking like a grocery bag doesn't have very big handles.
Yeah, I don't know that any of us on the show here could fit our legs. I certainly couldn't fit my legs through a grocery bag handle without some modification.
I don't know about you two, but I'd need a drawstring hefty bag. But I'm just saying.
It's a veritable forest down there.
Yeah.
Now you could steal some of your wife's stash of those fabric bags that they love to collect. You know that you can grab one of those. I'll fit in one of those and just like hook it up over my hips and
Yeah, but then
do the wide leg stance.
Here, she's gonna find that one hair, Tristan.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta throw that shit away when you're done. We're not recycling that. That's a horror show.
You're like who skinned a rabbit in here? Like,
oh my god, somebody shaved a chinchilla. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we got from Toro's taco apron, tacoluge.com to pube bags, but wow.
I mean, the progression of the podcast has been the tragedy of Ellicott City to shaving your pubes with a grocery bag around your legs.
Food bag.
So I'm going to sidestep here a little bit. So one of the things that I always think about, so like I always think it'd be cool to like obviously like go back in time. Like Westworld is a great example, right? Like it'd be neat to go back to Old West or Renaissance Europe with the knights and all that kind of shit. But a couple of problems, like like speaking the language might be difficult depending on where you go. The other problem I always think about is like how badly people would like smell.
Oof.
And like, cause they didn't have like, fluoride or toothbrushes or soap really for the most part. Like even the hottest girl that you would find like in the Old West or the Renaissance age, as it were, would smell like a bag of shit. And that always ruins my fantasy.
I feel like it's like everyone's house has a smell that they don't know about. So you just get used to
You think so? You think even coming from the age of the 21st century and deodorant and aftershave and
I imagine
showers, I think I would probably just throw up constantly.
Those first few maybe months would probably be a bit rough.
Yeah, then you might get used to it after a while. I mean, look, squirrel's got to find his nut,
Yeah.
I mean.
Just get past it. Yeah.
Yeah. Plug your nose and turn out the lights. I mean, I don't know. That's oh God. I am so glad. Never mind. Well,
that was a man who went through a series of thoughts he decided he didn't want to share with the world.
And then We did. Okay.
Yeah, society's better off for me
Never
not saying
mind.
that. No, but like you think about it though, right? Like soap and I mean, okay, Tristan, you're married. Mikey, you're married. I'm in a long-term committed relationship. I have one, maybe two bottles exactly of soap and hand lotion in the shower, right? She's got like 30. Like there's like a little hanging thing off of the shower rod, and it's stuffed full of shit. Like there's 6 different kinds of conditioner and 12 different kinds of shampoo and God knows how many bath products in general that she has. And I've got like the all-in-one. Like I can shave with it, I can wash my hair with it, I can shower with it, I can brush my teeth with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'm totally fucking okay with that. If that's what she needs to look pretty and smell delightful, I'll fucking take a shower in the kitchen sink if that's what she needs me to do. She can fill that thing with products.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say I don't use them every once in a while.
Okay. I like to smell pretty too.
It's called lilac.
I am always tempted to consolidate. It's funny if you go to like the grocery store or the convenience stores and stuff like that, and you see the women's shampoo and conditioner areas. There's all these separate products for different types of hair and different smells and different shampoo and conditioner for thin hair. And then you go to the men's and it's all just like shampoo and conditioner and beard soap and body wash all in one. It's just one bottle. It's like a gallon.
35 in one.
Yep.
Like hair, body, teeth, car wash, grill cleaner,
oven degreaser,
Yeah,
new from Old Spice, clean your filthy body.
Old Spice, clean yourself until there's nothing left.
Any part of it. Is it dirty? Put this on it. Scrub it. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy though, but there's literally like a dozen different things. And I admit, I've got a beard wash because this thing fucking is a pain in the ass sometimes to take care of. But she turned me on to it. I'm not going back. I'm just not fucking going back at this point, It's like, so I have my juniper and cedar beard wash. Yeah.
Does it taste like semen to get you used to your future?
No, but it makes me feel like a fucking hipster.
Yeah.
Juniper and cedar. That's exactly what I would expect, like somebody that needs a beard wash to smell like.
It's a very beard washy kind of aroma. So no bullshit. I grew my beard out on a bet one time. And that's how I wound up growing a longer beard. And for months, it was like this itchy, scratchy, like tangled, knotted, matted. And finally, she says to me, for God's sakes, we get some fucking beard wash. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She got me some. I was like, oh, it doesn't hurt when I do this. And the rest is history. So now it's juniper and cedar.
Fruit.
No, I get older. Yeah. I have more products too. I can't use the fucking 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner anymore. I gotta have separate fucking that and body wash. And I'm not 22 years old anymore. I gotta take my cleanliness seriously.
No Axe body spray.
No Axe body spray. I've got multiple shit on my my bathroom counter, and it's a whole thing now.
Not me. I don't give a shit.
What do you shave with? I bet you shave not electric. It's like a Mach 3, right? That like they sent you for free when you turned 18.
What are you talking about? Everyone shaves with a Mach 3. Anybody that's smart fucking shaves with a Mach 3 because that shit's expensive as fuck, but it does its job, and you're not going to really find anything better.
No, I use a safety razor. That shit's the best. I thought you'd be on board with that.
Oh, I would, but then I'd have to maintain it and all that stuff.
No, not the cutthroat shit. It's just like the handle, and you put the safety razor in it.
Right.
The razors are cheap as shit.
Yeah, that's the best shit.
And you just whip, whip, whip.
It's so much closer, but isn't it because it's one blade? It's like you're more likely to slice your shit up. I go fast and loose with the safety, man. It's like. It's been
mirrored on your face. Yeah, I get it.
He's got the DTs from fucking drinking Jameson all night. You know?
I mean, it's only maybe the last decade that I've used shaving cream.
What?
Jesus!
I'll just
what kind of barbarian are you?
What have you been doing?
What the fuck?
Water?
Water? What do you think? What are you like practicing to go to prison or something? I mean,
yeah, I figured it was inevitable.
Okay, that's true. That's true. So, honestly, the beard is born out of sheer laziness, though. That's the funny thing. Like, I hate shaving.
And how that usually happens?
More or less, yeah. But it's kind of become a thing, so I've just kind of kept it.
Can I just say it bothers me when people have overly groomed beards?
Oh yeah, like those guys that like compete in the beard contest you see on Netflix with like all the shit going all that crazy.
That's a weird niche thing. That's fine.
Mikey's talking about normal people that he hates. Yeah, go ahead.
If you're gonna be a weirdie that does like beard competitions, more power to you.
Fly your freak flag proudly.
I'm talking about the people that go to the barber like once or twice a week.
Fuck that noise.
Just to get the lines perfectly cut in. Yeah. I'm like, you look ridiculous. Even when it's like real fresh, it's like, that's really clean looking. But you look like you suck all the dicks.
You sit there with a set of tweezers making sure that everything is perfectly plucked.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fuck that girls plucking their eyebrows. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like is it Drake that has like that like perfect like hard lines, stupid looking shit.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's definitely a thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, like I go to a barber shop out in Sykesville and they cut my hair, and it's like, yeah, just kind of like trim it up a little bit, make it look clean. That's it. About once every 5-6 weeks. Just tighten it up for me. That's it.
Man, I'm fucking lazy. I get my hair cut quarterly.
Well, you actually have hair. The shorter my hair is, the less bad I feel about going bald. Yeah. And incubating hair growth. That's why I'm wearing this hat right now, Tristan.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's racing. It's having a race to the back.
Yep.
It's the fucking worst.
Are you losing your hair at all?
Oh yeah. It's getting thin.
Yeah. See, I got the.
You're having a race to the middle.
Oh yeah. It's like it's starting here and it's kind of going forward and backwards and it's connecting the dots. So no bullshit. 15 years ago or 14 years ago, whatever it was, buddy of mine had to go through chemo. So I had a like long, like prep school mullet looking hair, just kind of like unkempt and that shit. And so he goes through chemo. I was like, yeah, so if you're going to lose your hair, I'll lose mine. And he's like, okay, whatever. And we used to give him shit about going bald when we were in high school, right? Like he always had thin hair. So I shaved my head. I bicked it. I kept it that way for over a year. And when he was finally out of the woods, I started growing out back again. And that's when I discovered I was going bald. And it was a fucking shock because before it was a choice. And so I went over his house and he saw it for the first time and he was laughing his ass off. And he's like, but you're fucking going bald just like that Seinfeld episode. I'm like, I know. No. Before it was a choice. Now it's like, this is me. So I wear hats most of the time because, incubate eggs, incubate hair growth.
There you go.
Difference.
Do you have like a fucked up head? Like, would you look fucked up if you just shaved it?
No, I actually don't have any lumps or anything. I got a couple scars back there, but that's
so like now's the time, right? You're rocking the beard, like bald with the beard. Like I feel like that'd be a decent look for you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. And no, I won't fuck you.
Yay.
But sorry.
Oh, you'll fuck me.
No,
that's what you think.
All right, if I have to.
Challenge me. How dare you? Try to give a man a compliment, and now all of a sudden I'm forcing him to suck.
I thought you were hitting on me, man. That's cool. Mikey told me some stories.
Yeah, of which there are many.
Yeah, well, I mean, So I would, but remember I said about the beard being born out of laziness? That requires maintenance and work, and I have shaved my head before, and it's like, fuck, I just don't feel like doing this every goddamn day.
Probably not as much as you think. I bet if you go the same frequency, get your beard trimmed up at the barbershop, have them run a bic, I think it'd be cool. I read a piece of advice in college. It was in like a Maxim magazine or something like that. It was like, if you find yourself, what's that?
Where all good advice should come from.
That's true. But they used to have like good articles. They used to have good short articles about, some.
You read it for the articles, huh? Yeah.
About interesting topics. Anyway, this piece of advice I always thought was interesting. It said, if you start to notice yourself going bald, shave your head while you're still young, and make sure there are pictures. So when you show pictures of yourself to your kids when you get older, they'll just think you were a badass and not just always bald.
Well,
so I'm just saying, now's the time.
That's profound.
If I could grow a beard, I definitely would. But I grow an awful beard. It's patchy and terrible and thin and embarrassing. I could probably get a good one if I had like a year's lead up, but I'd get fired from any job I had.
Don't get me wrong. I've not always had this luscious face full of hair. It used to be patchy and it grew in.
Steve, I can only get so hard. Okay.
I can only get so hard.
We're about to have technical difficulties because he's going to knock shit off.
He's the one talking about his luscious face full of beard, okay? It's a good thing I'm in a room by myself.
Keep your hands where we can see them.
Just remember that table is glass.
They'll be frosted.
It's ectoplasm.
We get some frosting spray paint for next week, just in case. Never have this again.
I'll see you again in another year.
So you can't grow a beard either. I grow a shit beard as well. Like
I feel like you grow a pretty decent beard. You normally do it in the winter, don't you?
Yeah. Coming up here because I'll do beard Tober and then no shave November, and then 2 years ago. I just kind of kept it going for like another, I don't know, 2-3 months or something. The problem is like wifey always wants clean shaven for like photos and everything. We got young kids, so it's like there's something coming up always.
Yeah, I mean, my better half, she actually kind of likes it. Like when we first started dating, I had a goatee. I had like goatee and like sideburns, and I look like a fat greaser. So, like James Dean, but fat. I mean, like really fat.
Fat James Dean.
Fat James Dean.
Dad bod James Dean. God.
Dad bod James
What
Dean.
he would have looked like if he made it into his 40s. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. With a fucking Marlboro hanging out of my mouth.
So I sorry to cut you off, but the dad bod thing made me think of it. I have a shirt that says dad bod, and I love wearing that out. And
you're a fucking asshole.
Because, I mean, technically it's true.
You're a monster, just so we're clear.
I just, on behalf of the 40 people watching and Tristan, fuck you.
Fuck you, you motherfucker. That is the worst.
Have I never worn that on the show? I'm going to have to wear that next week.
Oh, Jesus. Now I got to go find a dad bod shirt.
Yeah, for when we get twinsies.
Yeah, right. When I come back in a year, so that way I can make sure I wear it, so we can refer back to this episode and be like, hey, that was the start of the twinsy shirts.
I feel like we should actually plan, like if you come back on the show, and we'll actually plan to wear the same shirt.
If I'm invited back, yes, I think we should definitely plan on that.
We have no standards here.
No, that's true. I've seen some of your episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've
had Toro on here.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about some
mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. So, we're fucking talking about this, and I don't even know how I got to this point to this topic, but Mikey said it was cool if I gave some friends of mine a plug, that the 40 people watching would be okay with this.
Yeah, I said they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. So I'm working with some cats that are opening up a brewery up in Tawnytown called Brewery Fire, and they just won this big Carroll County Business Challenge thing. It was kind of like Shark Tank. It was kind of cool. Went up to Westminster, and they got to pitch their business. They won like a shitload of money in marketing and all. So what's up, Dave and Jesse? Hey, guys.
Brewery Fire? What'd you call it? Sorry.
Brewery Fire. So
Brewery Fire.
Hey, look at that. 2 more views.
Two more views. Maybe until I start
their products.
Yeah. So they're opening up beginning of next year in Tawnytown. We were about to finalize everything on a lease for their spot and all, but they're popping up all over Carroll County, like farmers markets, and there's like an agricultural fair in Tawnytown. They got a thing on. They're doing something kind of cool. Like, I'm really big into local beers because I like to drink local shit. And
dad bod.
There's no light beer through these lips. So anyway, that was weird, wasn't it? So anyway, these guys they're brewing some really, really cool stuff, and their beers are all kind of like fun named and shit, like science fiction cartoon series like Futurama,
pop culture, sort of.
Pop culture kind of references, like some books and like some fun stuff, and like Rick and Morty beers, and so we were laughing about it earlier, but Mikey actually named, I think, one of their beers, because I had to text Dave, and Dave, I'm sorry to call you out, but like we were talking about Rick and Morty named beers, and they're like, yeah, we want to figure out how to do one that's like, where are my testicles, Summer?
Yeah. So Snowball's hiding behind your head there.
Snowball's hiding behind my head here. Hey, Snowball, don't bite. So yeah, and of course, so Mikey comes up with.
Oh yeah. We had to edit it.
We had to edit it a little bit because we're like, testicles. Can that go on a label?
That might
maybe
probably not.
That might be a little iffy.
Yeah.
So he said, "Where are my balls? Summer ale."
Yeah. So
that's actually really good.
Yeah, I have to admit that's pretty goddamn funny. It all comes full circle to Rick and Morty.
Snowball's about to dive on you. There you go.
Oh shit! Sorry, Snowball. Back with
because my fur is soft and fluffy.
This episode of the Last Call podcast brought to you by Brewery Fire.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow.
Is that just a Google image search of a fire?
Right? Is this not the Brewery Fire we were talking about? I assumed.
Yeah.
This is not the one.
I hope not.
So, recent events have pushed the opening of Brewery Fire to 2020.
Yeah, really.
Not the only picture of a burning brewery on Google Images. Just,
oh my God.
To my surprise.
So we should have probably never told Tristan about the whole screen sharing thing.
Yeah.
I was just looking to see if maybe a copy of their logo was on Google so that I could put it up there. But
so
I found.
Since I'm still using a webcam.
Okay. Since you're going to a webcam. Tristan, if you go they've got a Patreon or Patreon site. It's like patreon.com/breweryfire. And you can join their beer club, like for when they open, and like kind of like prepay to get their. Basically like $5 a month, and that gets you free beers when they open up. You get to come in and redeem them, so it'll be pretty cool. So I'm sure you can find a logo there. Wink, 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 wink.
This says they're getting ready to create a podcast. How dare you?
Yeah,
I see what you've done. I see what you've done here. You've betrayed us once again.
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. Maybe a little. No, it's just a shameless plug for some guys.
Did we just plug another podcast for 5 minutes? Steve,
do we get to go on?
Wait, are they seriously? Because Dave was like, "Oh shit, I want to start a podcast." It's like number 50 on the things that I got to do.
I'm gonna go with it's number 3.
Oh shit, Dave!
That looks like a podcast right there. Like
it's literally number 3 on his list of things to do.
Oh, is it in the title?
Title?
Brewery Fire is creating beer videos, podcasts, and handcrafted merch. It comes before the merch, Mikey.
Oh shit, Dave!
Steve has fucking fucked us.
Hey Tristan, can I buy you a drink next?
Is it going to be in Patreon fucking vouchers?
Yeah, it'll be in Patreon vouchers. You'll be able to use it for free beer or dirty pictures from Insta models.
So are you going to sell me Brewery Fire Patreon vouchers that I can then sell to my friends? But if my friends also sell Brewery Fire Patreon vouchers, I get a cut?
You lost me.
Is the Brewery Fire a pyramid scheme? That's what I'm getting.
I was going to say, is that a pyramid scheme?
I wish it was. I just like good beer.
Brewery Fire is creating craft beer podcasts, videos, and pyramid schemes. Brilliant.
I mean, that's aggressive marketing. I mean, it's
you just put it right in the
guerrilla
tag
marketing. Did I just guerrilla-ly market something?
Shit, yeah, you did.
Fuck yeah.
Well done.
Right.
Got one by us.
You son of a bitch.
Worldwide, motherfuckers.
Is it time to would you rather yet?
I believe it is.
I'm not waiting around for Steve to scam us once again. First it's real estate, then it's his goddamn brewery pyramid
from the used house salesman.
Yeah, right. You're all in commercial real estate. You're going to buy up Ellicott City.
Now that you all have heard my evil plan,
he's found a way to monopolize our dozens of viewers.
Dozens might be generous, but I mean,
there are at least a couple of dozen.
Quan gonna Quan?
I don't think Quan knows how to use the internet.
I don't know. Can we get Quan on here at some point?
Oh, I should get Quan.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
I had to teach somebody at work today how to reset their password.
Oh my!
Like it was like a work thing. It was like it was like, okay, we're gonna text you a security code. And you put in that security code and then you reset your password. I like had to walk them through this hand by hand. I'm like, I don't give a shit if you're in your 50s. Like, how are you fucking alive without knowing how to reset a password at this point? Like, how do you have a bank account or a fucking mortgage and I have to teach you how to reset your password on the internet?
Where's the enter button?
You know, those are the people that have multiple Facebook accounts.
Oh yeah.
I know I have multiple people. I have multiple people like that where it's like they have a Facebook account and they're like, oh man, got hacked. Like,
yeah,
no, you didn't. You forgot your password.
Forgot your password.
Their Google search history is just log into Facebook over and over and over again.
I'd say they forgot the password to the email account that they set up the Facebook page on, so they can't reset the password. So then they start another Gmail account and start another Facebook page at the same time. Yeah. And it just keeps perpetuating itself. It's like one of those like magnet things they used to sell in the department stores. Like it just kind of keeps spinning around little perpetual motion machines.
I am going to be honest. I think I have like 6 Microsoft accounts at this point, though, because like once every 3 years, I need my password for it, and I can never fucking figure out what it is, and I don't own the email address for it anymore. So I guess I'm talking a little bit too much shit.
I'm about ready to restart my Google just because I have too much spam email.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm too lazy to go through and unsubscribe from all the shit.
So I had to log into something today that I hadn't logged into in probably about a year or so, and I couldn't remember the password. So
MyFitnessPal?
Yeah. Come on now. I didn't get this way eating salads.
Dad bod.
So anyway, I haven't logged into this thing in probably about a year or so. And I'm going through, and it's like, okay, I remembered the password. I somehow or another remember the password. It was like, great. So I had to get him to change my email address because I don't actually use that email address anymore. So it says call. I'm like, okay. So I get Samantha on the phone. I'm like, hi, Samantha. I need to change my password or my email address, right?
Shout out to Samantha.
What up, Samantha?
Shocker. So, Samantha's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Samantha's watching. She's number 41 watching.
Let's hope.
Hey, look, I got her. Okay, so I did get her customer satisfaction survey for the first call because she got my email address changed, and then I went to go log back into it, and it wouldn't let me log in. So I'm like, fuck. And it wouldn't let me keep like resetting the password.
Are you talking about your AOL account?
It was actually CompuServe. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I call back and I get Samantha on the phone. I'm like, hey, Samantha, it's Steve again. And she's like, oh, hey, Steve, what's going on now? It's like, I can't get my password to work. I entered the same one in that you told me that I had, which made sense because that's the one I used before when we were going through and confirming everything. And she's like, okay, I'll just reset your password. And I said, okay, what are you going to reset it to? She goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, it sounds like the combination an idiot would use on their luggage. She starts laughing, and she goes, I love that movie.
Oh.
While I'm on the phone with Samantha, the email pops up and says, like, how is your customer service with Samantha? You know, click for a quick survey. So I'm like, oh, Samantha, by the way, 5, highly likely, 5, highly likely, all the way through. She's like, you rock. And then she signs off. I got the coolest telephone help person in the world. She signs off and shit you not says, Hail Scroob.
That's pretty fucking amazing.
That was fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
I'm missing the reference, but
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Holy shit, you missed that reference? I'm surrounded
Yeah.
by assholes, Tristan.
All right.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Well played. Well
Yep.
played. All right.
So my favorite movie reference story. I'll be quick, Mike. I promise.
No, you're good.
So this was years ago. I've since stopped using this phrase. So nobody freak out. This is years ago, and I was at work, and one of my direct reports was working on a copier, and he was having a hard time. And he turned to me and he said, "I'm having this problem. What do you recommend I do?" And taking a flyer and quoting the movie Old School, I said, "I recommend you stop being such a faggot. It's the back seat."
Jesus Christ.
Sure, that went over well.
This kid was young, he's a smart kid. He gets pop culture references, had never seen the movie Old School before. It went over like a ton of bricks. I was like, okay, first of all, let's back up a notch. I'm really sorry. Second of all, let's hop onto YouTube. I need to show you something.
Thank God for YouTube, because 10 years ago, they would have thought you were a homophobe.
So yours went better than mine.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a bold reference.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's
right.
Like, I like
talking
we
about
get
putting
the
all your
reference.
eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
I swung for the fences on that one and came up short. And
Just-
yeah.
A can of corn to shallow right center.
Right into the catcher's mitt as I took off towards first.
You Chris Davis that.
Nowadays, Chris Davis. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
What do you recommend I do? Go ahead, Mikey. Lay it on us.
That's what she said. Would you?
Gross.
Speaking of references.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right. Time for everybody's favorite segment, and our new favorite thing with posting the actual poll on the website. So,
Oh yeah.
excellent. Would you rather attempt a 50-yard field goal with an iron bar just over the ball, or shatter your own nose by hitting it with a bottle?
So, like, if I hit I'm gonna shatter my own nose. I've broken my nose enough times. I think I can
Dude,
get down with that.
Both of these are nasty. What if the bottle breaks?
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
If
At
you're
your
hitting
eyes?
yourself with a bottle hard enough to break your nose, that's gotta break, like shatter.
It depends, I guess, on the thickness of the bottle. I mean, if you want to overanalyze it, but
Yeah, you gotta be
think about it. Like,
be ready for the thickness.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
That's what she said.
They specify glass bottle, which means the fact that it's glass is important. They didn't just say with a metal bar. Yeah, I'd definitely break my nose over shattering my leg.
Yeah, because I can still walk around. You know.
I don't want to fucking blind myself. Nah, I'm kicking that fucking bar.
Yeah.
That would suck, but yeah, I think I gotta.
I don't know, man. I think I'd be okay. I'd be able to walk around still. You know.
Yeah.
It's like I got, I don't know, man. You ever broken your ankle? It's not a pleasant experience. I can't imagine it would really be pleasant that way, but at least with, breaking my nose, I can get someone of those like Beverly Hills plastic surgeons and put it back to its former glory.
Unless it's your eye fluid dripping out onto your face, that probably won't work anymore.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Tristan.
That's fair. That's fair.
I feel like so. It says attempt a 50-yard field goal. Doesn't say I have to make it.
Well, I think they're insinuating you have to try and kick this thing as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah, you can't be like sandbagging it.
The football's not important. Like, you've got to kick this bar as hard as you can.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with kicking the field goal because I think I can temper it enough and still make I can't make a 50-yard field goal even without an iron bar there.
So what you're saying is you can fake it enough to convince people that are watching that you're not trying to like sandbag your performance to prevent from breaking your ankle. Am I right?
Yeah, which I think invalidates the question.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal. Let's just
Right.
Yeah. In the spirit of self-preservation,
You've got to shatter your fucking shin or break a glass bottle over your face. That's really what they're asking. And you guys are all like, how thick is the bottle? Where are the judges? Are they standing behind me? Like,
the German judge always will dock you like 1.5 you know?
Fuck you. You always add the extra caveats too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So break your foot and or ankle or break your nose. Is that what we're going with?
With glass.
Break your face.
I'm going with glass.
I'll break my foot ankle.
Because this is all Mikey's got right here. It's true.
Yep.
Can't put a dick in there if it's covered in bandages.
Damn it.
Damn.
All right.
Just saying.
Yeah, you're right. Would you rather have an arm in the place of one of your legs, or a leg in the place of one of your arms?
Ooh. Can I get like an equal length leg and arm?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because but if I got like, one of these things and then one of these things, it's going to be really weird.
That's the point.
I wonder if I can get one of those.
You just have a tiny leg attached to your shoulder.
I hate to break it to you, Steve. Either one of these things going to be a little weird.
Well, since you put it like that, Mikey, can I get one of those little? Yeah, who the fuck cares? I could do either or. I think at that point.
No, I'll take the leg arm.
The leg arm. Okay.
Shit, yeah.
Because I want to be able to walk
All right,
normally.
Okay, so that was my argument with the hitting the bar thing with your foot. Like at least if my face is all jacked up, I can still walk, right? So, okay.
You can still walk with a broken leg.
It's going to take quite some time. Aren't you in physical therapy? Not like taking it, but like in the field.
Yeah. But if you had an arm instead of a leg.
Yeah, but
so let's say what's the maybe a foot difference?
Dude, you're not thinking outside the box. I can get one of those little scooter things. Like the things that like you got a broken ankle now, they give you a scooter. Have you seen shit? Right? And like I can scoot around with that.
You guys are thinking about this all wrong. You get a fucking leg attached to where your shoulder is. Now you can throw roundhouses with your arm.
Oh, I could possibly kick Chuck Norris's ass.
You can kick Chuck Norris's ass. You know what kind of crazy like wheel triple kicks?
Looking around, waiting to make sure this motherfucker doesn't show up.
You could run on all three legs now. I bet you could run at like double speed, like a fucking like three-legged horse.
That'd
be kind of fucked up, but it'd be kind of cool.
Now, which would be more terrifying to see?
You can front mule kick with two legs on the ground. You know how fucking stable you can be? You can throw that middle leg up and just like fucking crack people on the chin. Now you got three fucking legs and an arm. Hell yeah.
I'm just saying, like, which would be easier to hide?
Probably the arm as a leg.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because you could put some sort of prosthetic.
Put a prosthetic leg over it.
Yeah, so you'd be a little weaker on one side. You might limp a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
throw a pant leg down there. You wouldn't even know.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
All right.
If you got like
the fucking hoof, I want a fucking hoof. I don't just want like my normal foot. I want a fucking hoof.
You want a horse leg?
Yes, I want
a madman, sir.
Absolutely,
that'd be cool. Like two regular legs and then a fucking just horse leg attached here. You could just fucking horse kick people in the face.
Exactly, be like
with a metal shoe.
Yeah.
How did we make this question worse?
Yeah, I choose horse leg.
This is what happens when we've been drinking all night.
I'm with Steve.
This
horse leg for an arm
every night.
Can I go two horse legs?
Can we go double horse legs? Can I just get all legs?
Two human legs, two horse legs.
It's like half man, half bear, half pig.
I'll be the greatest heavyweight fighter alive.
Yeah, but every time you throw a punch, they'd be like, nope. Kicks.
Nope, sorry. Disqualified. Yep. Fucking German judge gets you every time, man.
Yep. Would you rather? Oh, man, there's some rough ones.
Man, I shit. I'm going to piss myself laughing. I can tell right now.
Please don't wet yourself. That couch has been through enough.
Well, I might have to take a break then.
Would you? Well, we're almost done. Would you rather use someone else's clipped toenail as a toothpick, or eat a slice of spoiled green bread?
Toenail.
Penicillin all the way.
What?
You really are going to wet yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing the pee-pee dance. That's the problem with getting old, man.
Yeah.
No, but I'm serious. I would do the penicillin. I'd fucking eat the moldy bread.
Yeah.
That's gross. Toenail, definitely.
Well, what do you have to do? Do you have to do like every tooth?
Or just like one?
Sure.
All right, no, just one. Yeah, toenail.
I feel like that wouldn't be effective. That'd be.
I mean, you didn't tell me I had to eat corn first. I just assume I just gotta like get in there and just eat each one real quick.
Eat a giant tub of popcorn from the fucking Regal movie theater, and then you got to use my gross ass toenail to pick your teeth, all of them, even the fake ones.
Yeah, toenail, definitely toenail.
Oh.
Give me the big. Give me the big one.
Yep. Toenail.
I'll say slice of spoiled green bread, because inevitably it's the end piece and it's tiny, quick. I'll just fucking.
And it'll kill everything else that Mikey already has.
It's gonna be difficult to use a toothpick though with my horse hoof hands.
That's what you got the other hand for, man.
No, we're talking.
Are these questions compiling?
No, we're talking. That's what we should start doing. This.
Yeah.
Last Call podcast season 2. We're gonna
fucking
each one compounds on top of the next. Like whatever you pick in the previous one
stays there.
Affects the next question.
It in.
All right, next episode. We're starting that.
I can't do this one because my mom died in the last question.
It's only a matter of time. Would you rather win a Nobel Prize for an idea you stole, or become wealthy from an invention that hurts people?
Y'all are gonna fucking hate my death ray, but I'm gonna love that motherfucker.
I mean, I hate people like a lot. Like, you hear me talking right now? Probably hate you.
Wait, what are the? Wait, you win a Nobel Prize from either?
Hey. All right, go pee, you sassy little bitch.
Excuse me, I'm gonna go take a leak.
So, I would much rather have that happen than you pee on my couch. So, yeah.
What do you get from either?
You win a Nobel Prize for an idea you stole, or become wealthy from an invention that hurts people.
Oh, well, I'd rather be wealthy than fucking get a Nobel Prize. I mean, Nobel Prize like $100,000, and I get to show it to people who come over and maybe go to Switzerland once. Like, I don't really care.
Exactly. I'd rather be wealthy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope it's not like a homeless ray gun or something like that. But
I'd be okay with that. Fuck a hobo. I mean, don't actually fuck a hobo. That's disgusting.
That's gross.
Murder a hobo. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Tony Stark now. All right.
Yeah. Right. Dude, I'd be an arms dealer all day. Fuck all of y'all.
Did you see that? There have been 2 arms dealer movies in the last 20 years. They're both super weird. Did you see the new one? I want to say is it Jonah Hill? It's not Jonah Hill. It was weird. It was like dumb bros dealing arms. It was really strange.
What? No. The only one I can think of is that Nicolas Cage one or something.
No, that's the older one. There was a newer one where it was 2 young guys. They were guys in their 20s who like stumble across this like basically they find like the Silk Road where people like bid on these arms deals, and they figure out that they can just buy from one and sell to the other like a stock market. So like they do a couple of these. It's based on a true story.
Really?
Yeah. It's based on a true story about these 2 like college guys who'd graduated and they didn't know what else to do, and they made a bunch of money on these arms deals, and then they took a contract to supply like 1 million AK-47s. And they couldn't. Their deal fell through. They couldn't do it. It's interesting from a story perspective. It's a strange movie. Wish I could remember what it was called.
It really doesn't matter. Like nobody's watching.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch it.
Yeah, nope.
See,
not at all.
This is the problem when you go to Taco Bell before you get here, because you get like the giant 64-ounce big gulp of instant diabetes.
No, I was just about to be really mad that you fucking shit in my house.
No, I'm not that fucked up, man.
Goddamn monster.
I just had to take a leak.
Yeah.
I don't have another beer though.
So we'll sidetrack real quick. So Steve, when it came over, so I'm potty training my oldest. So Steve comes over when he takes a leak before we get on the podcast, and he's like, it's always weird when I go over to people's houses that have kids and they have like double toilet seats, and
there's like concentric rings in the toilet seats. I don't have kids. I have dogs. I mean, let's be honest.
I thought you were gonna say you pissed in the little toilet on the floor, like the little
baby toilet.
Yeah,
no, we didn't go that route.
What, you've never done that before?
I know a guy that peed in a litter box.
Oh, a guy that peed in a closet multiple times.
Was that you?
No, surprisingly not.
Where did you pee? I forget where you.
Well, my parents' bedroom wall, Mikey.
That's
yes,
right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes. From episode, was that 54 or something?
No,
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, no, like I had a friend of mine that it seemed like every time that he got drunk, he pissed in somebody's closet, and we could never figure out like why. And it was never his. He didn't know. He was blackout drunk every time.
Good old blackout drunks.
And how?
So, would you win a Nobel Prize for an idea you stole, or become wealthy from an invention that hurts people?
I'm going Rick Sanchez level death ray.
So we're all hurting people.
Yeah, we're hurting motherfuckers.
Side note: the movie was War Dogs, starring Miles Teller and Jonah Hill.
Oh, it was Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
Miles Teller. Is that sort of wannabe, snarky, sort of teen actor? I guess he's not in his teens anymore.
Michael Cera?
No, Michael Cera is just like.
He was the guy that was in Whiplash. Played the young kid in Whiplash. Then he was in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Which was bad.
Yeah,
But Whiplash is fantastic. He does a great job in there.
I'll take your word for it.
Fair enough.
Would you rather, as a man, lose 2 fingers off each hand, or lose 1/3 of your penis size? Oh my God, your fingers.
Yeah, I mean, like, do I get to pick which fingers? Not that I'd rather lose fingers. Okay, the thumb, because the thumb's not a finger, you know.
1/3 of my penis size. So, like, is it magic? Is it just get smaller, or are we gonna like surgically remove it from the middle? Just the end?
Ooh.
Let's just say, let's go end result. So magically, you lose 2 fingers off each hand, or magically you lose 1/3 of your penis size. I can't even say that phrase without cringing.
Yeah, I don't feel so good. It's not the Taco Bell. I don't know. I mean, like, okay, so
what
I go from 18 down to 12 inches. Come on. One of us assholes was going to say that.
Good drunk math.
Yes. So anyway, I lose 1/3, right?
Is that metric? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So I am Irish. So do I get to pick which fingers?
It's a good question.
Well,
I'm going to go random.
Is it at random? Like you might lose a pinky and a thumb, I feel like it, because if you just lost
chance for each finger, right?
If you just lost like the last 2,
I got a claw, you know. But even if I lost these 2, I've still got a claw of sorts, right? Like
fully.
I'm like Zoidberg, you know. Like
life will go on.
No, I'm saying you're basically rolling a pair of 5-sided die for each one, and those are the fingers you lose. So you could end up with a weird pairing.
You straight up went middle school Dungeons and Dragons, didn't you?
I didn't know how else to randomize. D5 I don't think is a thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that is.
Yeah, but rolling a 6-sided die for 5 fingers felt weird, and I didn't think we needed to have this discussion. So, because I knew it'd be like, well, what happens if 6 comes up? I don't know. You win. You don't have to cut off the fingers. I don't know.
Well, that's a good variable, though.
That make it more fun.
Kind of like Russian roulette.
So here's the thing: 1/3 of your penis size, no matter your penis size, fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dick. I'll live.
Well, I guess we're married.
I mean, it might as well be, you know.
Fuck that. I'll still lose
that
fingers.
sucks, but you know, I'll be all right. What, you gonna leave?
If it's the magically shrinking version, you know, where it doesn't like I'm not losing, like it's getting lopped off with a set of clippers or something, then I'm all right with shrinking it down a third. You know, and I'll find a way.
Plus, it's 2018. I mean, I haven't really looked into it, but I imagine there's all kinds of interesting solutions for guys with tiny dicks these days. So I'm not worried about it.
Do you want to bring that up on the screen share as well?
Yeah. What to do if you have a tiny dick? I'm sure there's like sleeves and like cybernetic implants and like there's got to be all kinds of stuff you can do.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
I said I'm not, but I mean, it's fucking 2018. You ever been on a porn site? Like every other thing is like, here's ways to make your dick bigger. I imagine. And if there aren't 100 ways to make guys with tiny dicks feel better about themselves, then that is a market we need to enter right now tonight. We hang up the podcast and we need to start designing products because there's a fucking market out there.
Yeah, they're called Ferraris and Porsches.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, when Tristan dies, make sure that we clear his search history after we look at it.
I'm just saying, from doing the intros to this for a while, my search history is a fucking nightmare. So, yeah, no way. I'm not. I mean, think of how depressing that would be.
What, to have your pecker shrink?
Yeah.
I'm already used to having a small one. I'm all right with it.
Fuck that, man.
No, I think I'd rather lose some fingers. I'm trying to hang on to what little I have left.
If you're
the
going like
hair, the little dick, you know.
You're going 3 inches to 2 inches. I mean, you know, that's not that big a loss, right?
18 to 12. I mean,
I think it's the 2 fingers on each hand that bugs me. I think if it was just 1, I'd be okay, but 2's a lot.
Yeah,
that's fucking 4 fingers. You could end up with weird combinations. Typing's hard. Everybody's gonna look at your hands weird. I don't want that. I don't want any of that.
Have you ever gone to shake somebody's hand that's missing a couple fingers? It's like the weirdest thing, and you try to play it off and be cool, be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" You're like,
"Way to mock the handicap, Steve."
But you're thinking about it. No, I'm with his honesty. You're thinking about it.
Like, you know, I'm not trying to mock anybody, Mikey, you ass.
I don't want to have that conversation, that thought train every time I shake somebody's hand. I'll take the shorty dick. Okay.
There's enough dark and scary shit flowing between my ears on a regular basis. I don't need that kind of evil.
Fuck that, man. I will creepy fucking claw people.
You're afraid of the claw.
Oh, you would do that. You would definitely touch people's faces all the time.
I'll use my strong hand.
I like to mash.
Mikey's the doctor who's going to take through the fingers. He's like, can you make one of the remaining ones just smaller and like thin? You know, just discolor it a little bit.
Wizened.
Oh, on that note.
That's the last one?
Is that the last one?
Yeah, that was it.
I mean, I had to take a leak. You know, it's getting old. Shit sucks.
We had a break in the middle.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of a break in the middle.
It's like a bad way to end.
Yeah. Losing size on your dick is always a bad way.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
that's true.
Let's see. Can we get this here? We go.
Hey, it did work.
Pretty close. I'm still happy that I finally hit it after like fucking 74, 75 episodes or whatever. But
I'm telling you, those 40 people watching are going to be impressed.
Yeah, Tristan made a GIF of it. It's fantastic.
It is true.
It's those little things in life.
It's one of my favorite things I've done.
You know you've arrived when you become a meme. Oh, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
You just fucked that all up.
Right. You know you've arrived when you become a meme or a GIF.
Good old Dixon bombs.
Good. They a thing.
All right. Well, thank you to all 40 of you for tuning in each week. We appreciate your time. And thank you for spending time with us getting an alcoholic stupor. We hope you drink along with us. Thank you to Steve for coming in and joining us. Thank you to Tristan for phoning in from Ohio.
So good to see you.
We'll see you all next time on the next last call.
Cheers.
Bye.
Oh yeah, put something up. There you go. Put something up weird.
It only works if you don't stop talking. You son of a bitch.